I feel like life is a bit messy. Like it's when it starts to be that time where like everyone is doing different things. Like some people literally cannot find a job, some people are working in retail, others have gone like straight into a grad job. Like everyone is doing different things and it's a bit weird. And I also feel like, especially if you go straight into like a full-time like 9 to 5 job, it's weird because obviously at uni, like you had so much freedom to like have your own schedule, like wake up when you want, like revise when you want, like lectures are not every single day kind of thing. So I feel like it was, yeah. So my name is Hannah Shittu. I graduated in 2021. I did business and finance
Course.
at University of Hertfordshire.
Could you tell us your hometown?
Yeah, so my home, well, I'll do my home area. It's Hertfordshire, so like just
Okay.
outside of London.
Could you remind us of the course you studied at university?
So I studied business and finance, BA. Yeah.
Why did you choose your course?
So I was gonna choose business because in my A levels I did business and I was always thinking, yeah, like don't really know what I want to do, like the sound of business. But then I was just thinking like my mom was like business by itself is just not great, so maybe add something else. And I feel like I was quite good with numbers, so I was like, yeah, let me do business and finance. It was just making sense.
Is your course 3 or 4 years?
It was 3 years. Yeah.
So you've now finished your course. What did you think about your course?
It was all right, I guess. It was just a course. Like it was like I think there's 8 modules a year, something like that. Yeah, and it was like a direct split. So there was like 4 finance modules, 4 business modules. And then my course also didn't have a dissertation, so it was just like all modules. But yeah, I guess the course was decent.
So 3 year course meaning you didn't have a placement year. Is that optional or is that mandatory? Did you decide to opt out?
It was optional, so I was in a position where I was like applying for placements, but I just didn't get one. So I was just like, I'm not going to take a year out if I don't have one. So I just basically finished uni. Yeah.
In your personal opinion, what do you think the best A levels / subjects are for your course?
Um, Business. We definitely don't need maths. I'd say business, and if you have like a statistic, if your A level does like, if your school does like statistics, I'd say statistics because it's more like finance is obviously more kind of ish accounting, but it's like analyzing financial statements and like working with like numbers more than kind of like maths, which is like very algebra based. So yeah, business definitely, and then potentially statistics if you have that option.
So if you remind us of the university you studied at,
So University of Hertfordshire.
if we go into the best and worst things about studying at the University of Hertfordshire, starting off with the worst.
Worst is I'd say like the area. Like there's nothing outside of the uni. Like it's
Okay.
nothing, basically.
And the best things?
I'd say location wise, I feel like if you're especially from like London, I feel like it's quite good because it's like far but not too far. So it's not like Loughborough, like Leicester, Nottingham far. So it's like far enough but then not too far north. So it's like
So that like far enough to be away from home, but not too far to be too
yeah.
far.
So it's like
Okay.
good, like in terms of distance wise if you're trying to go home often.
If we go into the accommodation, where did you live in your first year?
So first year I actually stayed at home because obviously I live in Hertfordshire as well. So yeah.
And what was that like being at home?
I feel like it was there's pros and cons to both. So like it was good because like money wise, also because I lived close, like there wasn't really much point. That was kind of like the positive of it. But obviously like in terms of like making friends, I feel like first year is kind of like crucial for that. And like where you really make the most friends because I feel like it's more difficult as you like go through the years because everyone kind of has their like cliques and then it's a bit more difficult. Um so that was kind of a bit of a bummer. Obviously, like motives as well. Like you're less likely to go to like all the motives because you're thinking of like, oh, I have to go like back home. And obviously, if you get going back home after a motive, it's not the same as just like, going to your com kind of thing. So yeah.
And the cons? Oh, you said the cliques with the friends. Where did you live in your second year?
So second year, I actually lived at uni, but I lived in like a house. So like I met some people on was it spare room? Yeah, spare room. And they were also like in their second year. And I kind of like made friends with them. And then we all like lived in like a shared house, which was like literally like 5 minutes from campus. So that was quite good.
And was that better or worse than living at home?
I actually quite liked it. So I liked living out. The only thing is like halfway through, that's when lockdown was. So obviously like that experience was like, it was fun.
Short-lived.
As like, yeah, so like half of it I wasn't actually enjoying the like going like to motives and come back, because like, there wasn't really like war and lockdown. So yeah.
And your third year?
And then thirdly I lived back home because that was still lockdown-ish.
Okay. You talked briefly about the area, about nothing being there. Could you go into more detail about what you mean?
So obviously, like most universities are in cities. Hertfordshire is not a city. Obviously, Hertfordshire is a county, if you didn't know. And then it's in the town Hatfield. Hatfield is a town, and basically a town is not a city, as you can imagine. Whether it's like Manchester, Nottingham, Leicester, they all have like clubs, bars, like things to do. Whereas like Hatfield has the Galleria, which is like, it's like falling down basically. And then in like Hatfield town, there's like Asda, and like there just isn't like anything to do. So if you're looking for like things to do, there isn't
It's
really.
not there.
You're
Okay.
disappointed.
What general advice would you give to students about the study at university?
Is it studying in university like in general?
In general.
The actual study part or
Just
everything?
advice.
I definitely say try and push yourself out of your comfort zone. So in terms of like, I think especially like really crucial, like Freshers Week, like talk to people, like talk to as many people as you can. Like try and every event basically, obviously I didn't really do that, but every event be there, be present, be there, like meet new people, go to different things. People always say, but like a lot of the time who you meet on like the first week, or who you're like close to the first week, you don't end up staying friends with. So I feel like it's quite good in that first week while everyone is like trying to make friends, to like go out there and make friends. Also get the idea out of your head that you're going to meet a husband at uni. It does happen, but it's very, very rare. So like just don't go in with that expectation. What else can I say?
That's all right. If you give advice on students wanting to study at Hertfordshire University.
Hertfordshire in particular, I'd say kind of like the same things. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything in particular to that uni, I don't think.
And advice for your course at university.
My course, I feel like is kind of a breeze, but I feel like it might not be a breeze for some people, but I feel like try and get your stuff done on time. But like my course is like a pretty good course. So if you're someone who who prefers like exams and like shorter coursework, this is of course for you, because I don't have like any like long kind of like essays and stuff. So
okay. You chose going to university over an apprenticeship / going right into work. What path do you to make this choice?
I think it was actually heavily sixth form. So my sixth form is very much a sixth form of like, and I feel like a lot of sixth forms are like this, where it's like, yeah, you know, everyone's going to uni. And I think it's both my sixth form and around the time where it's kind of like in that time, everyone was kind of set on like, yeah, you go to uni and then you get a job. Like that was kind of the path. There was some talks of apprenticeships, but it wasn't really pushed that much. And I actually did apply for some degree apprenticeships, but I didn't get. So that's kind of the reason why I was like, I'm going to uni. But it actually was not really my first choice.
You finished university 2 years ago, 2020, you said.
21.
2021.
Yeah, it's 2020.
So you've been out of university just under a year.
Yeah.
What is life like after graduation?
I feel like life is a bit messy. Like it's when it starts to be that time where like everyone is doing different things. Like some people literally cannot find a job, some people are working in retail, others have gone like straight into a grad job. Like everyone is doing different things, and it's a bit weird. And I also feel like, especially if you go straight into like a full-time like 9 to 5 job, it's weird because obviously at uni, like you had so much freedom to like have your own schedule, like wake up when you want, like revise when you want, like lectures are not every single day kind of thing. So I feel like it was a weird adjustment. Also people that have like moved back home from uni as well, that's kind of like another adjustment. But I feel like it's a bit of a weird time kind of just figuring out like what you're gonna do with your life, because it's like shit, uni's done, education's done, like what now? So yeah.
And what advice would you give to students about to graduate?
I'd say students about to graduate, start applying for jobs, because it usually takes longer than you think. But at the same time, don't put pressure on yourself. Like some people will find jobs very quickly and others won't. Like I feel like if you don't have to start working straight away, like if you're someone who can live comfortably for a little bit, there's no rush, you have your whole life to work. and just give yourself time to adjust. Don't look at what someone else got a grad job really quickly, like that's their life kind of thing. Just focus on yourself and figuring out what you actually really want to do, because it might not be related to your degree at all. So yeah.
Could you tell us about your YouTube channel?
Yes, so I make YouTube videos. So I started in, I think after first year, yeah, the end of first year. So I make like some content. So while I was at uni, I made content about uni, about my nightmares with my landlord, just kind of like, yeah, my review of uni, like stuff like that. So I make that kind of content, and then now I'm kind of moving on to, obviously I finished uni now, more kind of like productivity content and just like personal growth type of thing. So yeah.
At this point, I let students have what I like to call a free-for-all. You can say what you want about what you like. You say something smart, you can say something dumb. Literally, the floor is yours.
What am I gonna say? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is staying safe. I feel like social media is great, but at the same time, focus on yourself. Find out what you want to do with your life, whether you're going to uni, not apprenticeship, being a bum, whatever it is you want to do. As long as you enjoy doing that, that's all that matters. If someone doesn't agree with it, ignore it. Do your own thing. Like, do your own thing and stick with it. Believe in yourself as well, because like the only person that can really believe in you the most and have your back the most is yourself, first of all. And then I feel like support will follow after. And when people see doing good, then they'll want to support after. But definitely, like, as long as you want to do something, like, run with it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I am plugged in.